The Magnificent Seven, 1960, is one of the most iconic Western films of all time, known for its gripping story, unforgettable characters, and legendary ensemble cast. As the years have passed, many of the brilliant actors who portrayed these rugged heroes have sadly left us. Their performances defined a cinematic era, and their legacies continue to live on through this timeless masterpiece. In this heartfelt tribute, we remember 36 remarkable stars who have tragically passed away, celebrating their lives, careers, and the impact they left on Hollywood and audiences around the world. Yul Brynner, who portrayed Chris Larrabee Adams in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was 40 years old when filming began in 1960. As the unflappable, strategic leader, Brynner's powerful performance became one of his most iconic roles. However, his personal life was far more tumultuous. Brynner married 4 times, and his first marriage to actress Virginia Gilmore, with whom he had a son, ended in divorce. His second marriage to actress Doris Kleiner was also short-lived, and his third was marked by emotional turmoil. Despite the success of his career, Brynner's attempts at personal happiness were often thwarted by the strain of these broken relationships. His battle with lung cancer, diagnosed in the early 1980s, further complicated his life. On October 10, 1985, he passed away at the age of 65, leaving behind a legacy as one of Hollywood's most charismatic stars, yet with a personal life filled with heartbreak, a reflection of the stoic, burdened characters he often played.
Very young and very proud.
The graveyard's full of boys who are very young and very proud.
Steve McQueen, who portrayed the resourceful and cool Vin Tanner in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was 30 years old when he began filming. McQueen's portrayal of the laid-back, yet highly skilled outlaw became an archetype of the Western hero. Off-screen, however, his life was marked by deep emotional turmoil. McQueen married 3 times, his first wife being Neil Adams, with whom he had 2 children. His marriages were plagued with infidelities, emotional distance, and ultimately, divorce. McQueen's personal demons, including a dependence on alcohol and drugs, made it difficult for him to find peace. His emotional struggles were compounded by the constant pressure of fame, leaving him feeling isolated. Diagnosed with cancer in the late 1970s, McQueen's health deteriorated rapidly, and on November 7, 1980, at age 50, he died following surgery for his illness. His death, caused by cancer, was a tragic end to a life filled with internal battles and personal losses, echoing the dark, tortured souls of the characters he so often portrayed.
Now drifting south more or less. You?
Just drifting.
Any action here?
Yeah, grocery clerk.
Eli Wallach, who portrayed the cunning and ruthless bandit leader Calvera in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, began filming the role at age 45. His character was complex, both menacing and charismatic, much like the actor himself. Wallach's personal life, however, was far from the calculated confidence he exhibited on screen. Married to actress Ann Jackson in 1948, Wallach had 3 children, but despite a long marriage, their relationship was often strained by Wallach's internal struggles. The actor battled deep insecurities and a sense of never fully finding peace in his personal life. While his career flourished with memorable roles in film and theater, Wallach struggled with the knowledge that many of his contemporaries had passed away, leaving him to reflect on his own mortality. He passed away on June 24, 2014, at the age of 98, from natural causes, having lived through decades of both public acclaim and personal sorrow, a reminder that even the most prolific actors are haunted by their own inner battles.
Why these 3? Or is it 4? They couldn't afford to hire more than that.
We come cheaper by the bunch.
5.
Horst Buchholz, who played the eager and impulsive Chico in The Magnificent Seven in 1960 at the age of 27, was a rising star known for his charisma and youthful energy. Chico's character was driven by a deep need to prove his worth to the older, more experienced members of the team. Off-screen, however, Buchholz faced a series of personal struggles. His first marriage to actress Miriam Brew ended in divorce after just a few years, and his second marriage was also filled with turmoil. Despite his early successes, Buchholz's career faltered in his later years, and his personal life was marked by a sense of longing for stability and fulfillment. After years of battling health issues, he passed away from pneumonia on March 3, 2003, at the age of 69, leaving behind a legacy that was marred by personal heartache and unfulfilled potential.
Go! Oh, she bite me and I'll bite you, so help me. I got a good mind to throw you in the water. Get your head up! Shut up!
Charles Bronson, who portrayed the tough yet compassionate Bernardo O'Reilly in The Magnificent Seven in 1960 at the age of 39, brought a rugged depth to the role of a fighter with a heart of gold. His character, always ready to protect the weak, mirrored Bronson's own real-life resilience, yet his personal life was far more fragile. His first marriage to Harriet Tendler ended in divorce after 15 years, leaving him to raise their children alone. Bronson's second marriage to actress Jill Ireland, whom he adored, was tragically cut short when she died from breast cancer in 1990. His grief consumed him, and despite his success in films, he struggled to find peace. In his later years, his health began to decline, and he succumbed to respiratory failure caused by metastatic lung cancer on August 30, 2003, at the age of 81. The man who had once portrayed the epitome of strength and stoicism had been quietly undone by the deep, personal sorrow that lingered in his life.
Right now, that's a lot.
Where can I reach you?
Right here.
Brad Dexter, who portrayed the opportunistic but loyal Harry Luck in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was 43 years old when he joined the cast. Harry Luck's character was driven by the pursuit of profit, but he displayed unwavering loyalty to his fellow gunmen when the situation turned dire. Dexter's career had its ups and downs, with periods of steady work but not much lasting fame. His personal life was filled with misfortune. His first marriage to actress Mary Catherine ended in divorce, and his second marriage to actress Peggy Dow also faltered. Dexter's struggles with alcohol led to health issues, including emphysema, which gradually weakened him. He lived out his final years in solitude, with his health declining. On December 12, 2002, at the age of 85, Dexter passed away due to emphysema, a tragic end to a life that had been full of both success and personal sorrow.
You're getting a stiff neck keeping track of them.
If you can't forget them, why don't you ride side saddle?
Ah, well. He won't last much longer.
That's all.
Robert Vaughn, who portrayed the aristocratic and tortured Lee in The Magnificent Seven in 1960 at the age of 28, brought a quiet intensity to the role of a man seeking redemption for his past mistakes. Despite his on-screen sophistication, Vaughn's personal life was filled with turmoil and emotional struggles. He was married to actress Linda Staub in 1974, and they had one child together, but Vaughn's battle with depression and alcoholism created tension in his relationships. Although he continued working, his career never fully matched the promise of his early years. His greatest personal tragedy came when he was diagnosed with leukemia in 2014. Vaughn's health rapidly deteriorated, and he chose to remain private about his condition. He passed away on November 11, 2016, at the age of 83, from leukemia, leaving behind a legacy of both career achievement and deep personal sorrow, a man who had never fully escaped the weight of his inner demons.
Yep,
You need men for a job in Mexico.
that's right.
How long?
4-6 weeks.
James Coburn, who played the calm and deadly knife-thrower Britt in The Magnificent Seven, was 32 years old when filming began in 1960. His character was known for being cool-headed, with a sharp eye and even sharper reflexes, traits that Coburn mirrored in real life. However, his career and personal life were filled with both triumph and struggle. Coburn's first marriage to Beverly Kelly ended in divorce, and his second marriage to Paula was also strained by infidelities and his growing fame. His career, though successful, came with its own pressures, including typecasting and the toll of aging. Later in life, he was affected by arthritis, which left him in constant pain. Coburn passed away from a heart attack on November 18, 2002, at the age of 74. His death marked the end of an era for many fans, as he had become synonymous with tough guy roles, but his personal struggles remained hidden behind his public persona.
Brett? Chris? Have a word with you.
Vladimir Sokoloff, who played the wise and venerable old man in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was 71 years old during filming, embodying the role of a guiding figure for the villagers with remarkable dignity. Although his career spanned decades, Sokoloff remained largely a character actor, never breaking into major fame despite his talent. His personal life was marked by solitude and strained relationships. He married and had children, but details of his family life are scarce, suggesting a certain distance from those closest to him. His later years were marred by the bitter reality of fading recognition, and he struggled with the passage of time. On February 15, 1962, at the age of 72, Sokoloff passed away from a stroke, leaving behind a legacy of underappreciated talent and a life that ended quietly, with little fanfare, much like the elder he portrayed on screen.
Yeah. Someone named Roaz. He's making room for you in his home.
Rojas? His conversation would bore me to death.
Yeah, well,
Jorge Martinez de Hoyos, who portrayed the humble and hard-working Hilario in The Magnificent Seven, was 40 years old when he began filming in 1960. His character's earnest desire to protect his village resonated deeply with audiences. Off-screen, Hoyos faced a much more tragic reality. His first marriage ended in a painful divorce, and his second marriage was also fraught with difficulties. The death of his son, which deeply affected him, added to the emotional weight he carried. Later in life, Hoyos was diagnosed with lung cancer, a battle that took a heavy toll on his physical and emotional well-being. Despite his declining health, he continued to work, but his personal life was plagued by grief and loss. On May 6, 1997, Hoyos passed away at the age of 76 from lung cancer, leaving behind a legacy of hard work and compassion, but also a life marred by personal tragedy.
it wasn't enough.
Doesn't give a hoot about money.
A man in this line of work who doesn't care about money.
And this line of work are not all alike.
Rosenda Monteros, who portrayed the brave and strong-willed Petra in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was only 25 years old when she took on the role of a fearless woman standing up for her village. While Monteros was known for playing powerful women, her own life was far less stable. She married the actor and director Juan José Garola, and the two had children, but their relationship deteriorated over time, resulting in a painful divorce. Montero's family life was a constant source of turmoil, contrasting sharply with her on-screen portrayal of strength. As her career began to fade, she struggled with the isolation that often accompanies fading fame, and her later years were marred by health issues and personal regrets. Monteros passed away on December 29, 2018, at the age of 83, leaving behind a legacy of powerful performances but a life filled with quiet battles and unfulfilled dreams.
You know what I thought.
Yes, I know.
I wasn't afraid of you. It's my father. He says stay away from...
Natividad Vacio, who played a villager in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was 46 years old when he began filming in 1960. His role, though minor, symbolized the desperation and vulnerability of the villagers who sought the protection of the seven gunfighters. In his personal life, Vacio endured a series of emotional hardships. His marriage ended in a painful divorce, which caused him to become distanced from his son. Despite some early successes in his career, Vacio's later years were filled with obscurity and fading roles. He found himself battling cancer during his final years, which eventually took a toll on his health. Vacio died on May 30, 1996, at the age of 83, leaving behind a life marked by unfulfilled potential and personal turmoil. His struggle mirrored the desperation of the character he portrayed, a man who faced seemingly insurmountable obstacles, both in the world and in his personal life.
we had more guns, think what we could do.
You'll get more guns.
Rico Alaniz, who played the loyal and determined Sotero in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was 41 years old when filming the role, embodying the character's unwavering commitment to his village and fellow villagers. Despite his dedication to acting, Alaniz's career never achieved the recognition it deserved, often relegated to minor roles and limited opportunities. His personal life mirrored the struggles of his professional career, with an unhappy marriage and strained relationships that seemed to echo the loyalty and sacrifice his character exhibited on screen. Alaniz faced loneliness and health issues as he grew older, finding little comfort in his personal life or in his fading career. On March 9, 2015, Alaniz passed away at the age of 95, his death marking the end of a life that was full of unfulfilled potential and quiet sadness, a testament to the tragic realities behind the on-screen heroism.
Little religion some people now have.
That I could see for myself.
Don't see!
Pepe Hern, who played Tomas, a loyal and brave villager in The Magnificent Seven, was 33 during filming in 1960. His character's courage and determination stood in stark contrast to the personal turmoil Hern faced in his own life. Although he had several marriages, they ended in failure, leaving Hern emotionally scarred and distant from his family. His career, after the success of The Magnificent Seven, dwindled into small roles and low-budget films. Struggling with depression, Hern turned to alcohol, further isolating himself from the world around him. In his later years, his health deteriorated, and he found himself alone, overshadowed by the lost opportunities of his earlier life. Hern passed away on February 28, 2009, at the age of 81, leaving behind a legacy marked by unrealized potential and personal struggles, a tragic reflection of the sacrifices his character made for the greater good.
Now, do you understand what it means when you start something like this?
We will fight too, every one of us.
When Calvera comes, the church bell will ring the alarm. We'll fight with...
Robert J. Wilke, who portrayed the menacing Wallace in The Magnificent Seven in 1960 at the age of 46, brought an intimidating presence to the screen. Wallace's character was a ruthless enforcer, a man who thrived on instilling fear, and Wilke's portrayal added a layer of tension and menace to the film. But in his personal life, Wilke was far removed from the villainous image he portrayed on screen. He was married to his wife, but their life together was marred by deep emotional challenges. Wilke struggled with his health throughout his later years, and the toll of cancer took him far too soon. His career, which had included numerous roles in both television and film, had started to fade as his health deteriorated. Despite his strong exterior on screen, his private life was filled with quiet desperation. Wilke passed away on March 28, 1989, at the age of 74, from cancer, leaving behind a life that had been fraught with personal and health struggles, and a career that had seen its highs overshadowed by the tragic lows.
You tell him. I won, didn't I? You lost.
Val Avery, who played the minor yet memorable role of Henry in The Magnificent Seven in 1960 at 36, was known for his distinct presence in smaller, yet pivotal roles. Henry's character, though not one of the main protagonists, added depth to the film's vast array of personalities. Avery's career spanned decades, but much of his success came with its own personal toll. While he had a relatively stable personal life, with a long marriage, the years were not kind to him. He struggled with the aging process, and in his later years, he faced a slow decline, both physically and emotionally. Despite his contributions to the film industry, Avery's final years were marked by solitude and a growing sense of loneliness. He passed away on December 12, 2009, at the age of 85 from natural causes, leaving behind a body of work that reflected his dedication to the craft, but a life marked by the quiet struggles of growing old in a world that often forgets the contributions of character actors.
Hey! Hey! I'd like to buy you a drink. I'm your friend, too.
Bing Russell, who played the minor yet memorable role of Robert in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was 34 years old when he began filming. Robert's role was brief, but Russell brought a unique energy to the film. His career, however, was a far cry from his vibrant on-screen persona. Russell struggled with maintaining his career momentum, constantly battling against the industry's changing tides. He faced multiple personal hardships, including the collapse of his first marriage and his battle with his own identity in a profession that often boxed him in. His second marriage fared no better, ending in sadness and emotional strain. His health, too, deteriorated after being diagnosed with cancer, a cruel fate that mirrored his personal life struggles. He passed away on April 8, 2003, at the age of 76 from complications of cancer, his death marking the end of a quiet, painful battle, both on and off screen.
What?
They say he isn't fit to be buried there.
What? In Boot Hill?
Why, there's nothing up there but murderers, cutthroats, and derelict old barflies. And if they ever felt exclusive...
Whit Bissell, who portrayed the pragmatic Undertaker Chamley in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was 51 years old when he joined the film. Chamley's character was a detached, somewhat cynical figure, contrasting sharply with the more emotionally driven characters surrounding him. Bissell, however, experienced a life marked by turmoil and personal losses. Despite a career spanning decades, he found little personal happiness. His marriages were marked by infidelity, and he was estranged from his children for years. His health deteriorated due to smoking, leading to chronic lung disease. In his later years, Bissell became a shadow of the man he once was, both in body and spirit. He passed away on March 5, 1996, at the age of 86, leaving behind a legacy of roles but also a life filled with regret and sorrow.
Hey, now wait a minute there. Listen, this hearse cost me $840 in Denver. It's the only one in the county. I'll be darned if I'm...
Valentin de Vargas, who portrayed Santos, one of Calvera's henchmen in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was 25 years old during filming. De Vargas's career consisted mostly of uncredited roles, with his most notable being the menacing Santos, a character that added to the tension in the film. While his on-screen presence left an impact, de Vargas's personal life was filled with turmoil. He was married to Beatrice, but their relationship was strained, filled with conflict and emotional distance, leading to their eventual separation. The couple had children, though details about their family life remained scarce. As his acting opportunities waned, de Vargas faced financial instability, and his health deteriorated due to myelodysplastic syndrome, which ultimately claimed his life. He passed away on June 10, 2013, at the age of 78, his death marking the end of a life that was overshadowed by missed opportunities and deep personal sorrow.
I should have guessed. When my men didn't come back, I should have guessed. How many of you did...
Edwin Max, who played the dice dealer in The Magnificent Seven at the age of 51, had a long career, but his personal life was marred by challenges that prevented him from fully enjoying his success. Although his role in the film was minor, his career spanned decades, yet he struggled to find lasting satisfaction. His marriage was troubled, and despite his professional achievements, his personal life never matched the promise of his career. Max faced the difficult realities of growing older in Hollywood, where opportunities began to dry up. His later years were clouded by health issues and a sense of regret over what he felt was an underwhelming career. After battling cancer, Edwin Max passed away on October 17, 1980, at the age of 71, leaving behind a career full of unfulfilled potential and a life weighed down by personal struggles and health battles. Enrique Lucero, who also played a villager in The Magnificent Seven, was 43 when he began filming in 1960. Lucero's character was a humble and hard-working member of the community, but his own life was far from peaceful. After the success of the film, Lucero's career never reached the heights one might expect. He faced a troubled personal life, including multiple marriages that ended in divorce. His relationships with his children were strained, and despite his fame in the past, he struggled financially and emotionally in his later years. Lucero's professional life stagnated, leaving him isolated and deeply affected by the loss of his former success. He passed away on May 9, 1989, at the age of 71 from natural causes, his death marking the conclusion of a life filled with unmet dreams and internal conflict, much like the enduring plight of his character. Joseph Ruskin, who played Flynn, the sly and opportunistic character in The Magnificent Seven at the age of 36, had a long and varied career in Hollywood. However, his personal life was complicated and filled with emotional turmoil. Despite his talent, Ruskin struggled with relationships, with his first marriage ending in sadness and his later years marked by loneliness. As an older actor, he faced the inevitable reality of Hollywood's indifference toward aging stars, and his health began to decline. Although his career included numerous memorable roles, Ruskin found it difficult to reconcile his professional success with his personal unhappiness. On December 28, 2013, he passed away at the age of 89 from natural causes, leaving behind a life filled with both triumph and profound disappointment, his career marked by roles that often hinted at deeper, untold stories of struggle. John A. Alonzo, who played Miguel in The Magnificent Seven in 1960 at the age of 26, was a gifted actor known for his youthful energy and passion. Miguel's character was a determined villager, fiercely protective of his home and family, a young man eager to rise above the injustice surrounding him. Yet, Alonzo's life off-screen was far from the courageous resilience of his character. His personal life was plagued by struggles, including his long, painful battle with illness. Though he was married twice, his relationships were often overshadowed by his declining health. Alonzo was diagnosed with a chronic illness that severely affected his physical and mental well-being, causing him to retreat from public life. He passed away on March 13, 2001, at the age of 66, after years of suffering. His death marked the end of a promising career that had been tragically cut short by his battles in his private life. Roberto Contreras, who played an uncredited villager in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was 32 when he filmed his small role. His character, though nameless, symbolized the plight of the villagers, desperately seeking help against the bandits. Contreras, like the villagers he portrayed, faced his own desperate struggles. His personal life was filled with hardship, including several failed relationships and his inability to find lasting happiness. His professional career never flourished as he had hoped, with many of his roles being minor or uncredited, leaving him in the shadows of Hollywood. His health also declined as he battled chronic illnesses, yet he never gained the recognition he deserved. Contreras passed away on July 18, 2000, at the age of 71, from causes related to his declining health, a life defined by unfulfilled potential and quiet despair. Jim Davis, who played the uncredited role of a gunman at Boot Hill in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was 51 years old during the film's production. His character helped build the lawless atmosphere that permeated the film, but Davis struggled with typecasting throughout his career, often relegated to minor roles. Despite his later fame as Jock Ewing in Dallas, Davis's personal life was fraught with difficulties. He married twice, with his first marriage to Dorothy and his second to an unnamed partner. Both marriages faced challenges, and Davis remained emotionally distant from his children. His career had many ups and downs, and his final years were marked by a painful battle with multiple myeloma, which sapped his energy and left him isolated. Jim Davis passed away on April 26, 1981, at the age of 71. His death was a somber and quiet affair, a reflection of the unfulfilled potential and loneliness that marked his life. Victor French, who portrayed the front office clerk in The Magnificent Seven at the age of 26, found his true fame later in life with Little House on the Prairie and Highway to Heaven. However, his early career, while promising, was marred by personal struggles. French was known for his kind-hearted roles, yet his own life was far less fulfilling. His first marriage ended in bitter divorce, and he struggled to maintain any semblance of happiness in his second marriage, which eventually also crumbled. His battle with health issues began in the late 1980s, and despite his professional success, he lived his final years in solitude. On June 15, 1989, at the age of 54, Victor French passed away from lung cancer, his career remembered but his personal life overshadowed by loss and unfulfilled dreams, leaving behind a legacy marked by both triumphs and sorrows. Larry Duran, who played one of Calvera's henchmen in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, was 35 years old when he filmed his role. His performance contributed to the film's tension, yet Duran's career remained overshadowed by minor roles that never brought him widespread recognition. Off-screen, his personal life mirrored his professional struggles. Duran married and had children, but his marriage was tumultuous and ended in divorce, leaving him emotionally drained. His family life was marked by conflict, and the separation weighed heavily on him. As his acting career dwindled, Duran's health began to deteriorate, and he faced financial hardship. He passed away on November 27, 2002, at the age of 77, with little recognition or fanfare. His death was a quiet conclusion to a life defined by personal difficulties and the harsh realities of an unfulfilled career. Who is your favorite character in The Magnificent Seven? How do you feel knowing that the actors have passed away? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much.